And we are live. All right, guys. Welcome to Wings Week in Review. My name is Sean. I'm what they call a returning citizen, and I'm also in recovery, and that's the topic of today, addiction and recovery. Got a great guest, Leroy from the Christian Counseling Professionals. He's going to tell you his story, and we're going to talk about recovery and addiction and all that. We are not in the office today because, believe it or not, talk about addiction. Somebody broke into the electrical box at our building offices and tried to strip all the copper out of there, pulled all the pipes and everything. I don't think that they actually got any copper because they probably got electrocuted. Anyways, the power company's out there and all the offices in our building had to shut down today. And I'll bet you any money it was a drug addict that did it. But I wish him the best. We'll say prayers for those people. So we're going remote today. The boss is out of town. She's going to go see her grandchildren and stuff. So Ann won't be with us to give you the little update. Raymond from Africa should be on here any minute. If you guys are coming over from the Federal Prison Talk channel that I have, so this is something I do on Fridays, guys. Wings for Life is an organization that helps families of incarcerated people. Our mission statement is transforming lives to break the generational cycle of incarceration. So we help, if the husband's locked up and the wife's high and dry with the kids and trying to raise them and has nobody to turn to, we try to be there for them. We have workshops. We give away bikes and clothing, and we do all kinds of things to help them. We also help people coming out, and we call them returning citizens. And this show is to tell everybody what Wings for Life is all about, give you an update every week about what we do. Different people from the organization come on here, our interns, our volunteers, people doing community service, our employees. And just to keep us honest, let you know that we are honest, and that kind of thing. And then we have a guest from the community to talk about their organization, because we're not the only ones, trying to help people. So we believe strength in numbers, and we help everybody out. Raymond from Africa was supposed to be on here. He may show up in a minute. So, and I just want to give you a quick little update. We're going to get to our guest here. So on Monday nights, we do a dinner and a guest speaker, and we're on Zoom and we're on Facebook, and it's later ran on YouTube. And we haven't been able to do that for 2 years because of the pandemic until last week. And that's where I met Leroy. So we had 20 dancers from Chile. They came and helped us out. We had a great speaker. We had a dinner. And I'm the cook on Monday nights now. But this Monday night, we have a church coming in making spaghetti and salad and garlic bread. And Ann will be the speaker this week. She's going to talk about ethics, what's right and what's wrong. It's from 6:30 to 7:30. You can catch it on Zoom. The link's running across the screen here, guys, and the phone number. But you can catch it on Zoom or you can catch it on Facebook. That's every Monday night. And with that, I'm going to give you over to Leroy, who I met Monday night, was out there with a table trying to help people. Leroy is in recovery himself. He's a counselor. He's a social worker. I'm going to give you Leroy, and Leroy, maybe tell him about yourself, a little background, and there are some questions, and I'll get you guys in just a minute.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here. You're right. It was great to go out and meet you as well as everybody else Monday night. There, the food was good. You did a good job cooking. How's that?
Thank you.
We enjoyed it, but I think the beauty of it all was the fellowship. Just getting to meet people and talk with people that are trying to move forward in life, right? And that's really what we're talking about. Recovery and people with issues and stuff like that. That doesn't have to define who you are. All of us have fallen at one point or another or multiple times. What counts is what you do with it. So yeah, my name is Leroy Lucero. I'm a chaplain. I'm a licensed master of social work. I'm a substance abuse counselor. I do pastoral care counseling at the church that I attend, Awaken Church here in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. And I also do some supervision for my community support workers there at Christian Counseling Professionals. We do what we like to call wraparound services. We offer counseling, and it doesn't just have to be for substance abuse. We do counseling with adults, geriatrics. We do it with folks that are young, kids, families, couples. We work predominantly. I work predominantly with those that want to recover from substance abuse and that are homeless, or those seeking homes. That's where I come from. My background is one of recovery. Like you mentioned, Sean, my background is starting out very young, like most people did, trying to get clean. I went through the 12-step program myself. We were discussing this off the air, Miss Narcotics Anonymous here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And from there, moving forward, had years and years, and then went through relapse and run. Locked in with Sagebrush Community Church. They have a program called Living Free, which is also a recovery program. Started working there as far as doing some substance abuse pastoring. And about, how many years ago was it now? 6 years ago. Well, prior to that, I'd been working at Sandia Casino as a dealer. I was a card dealer and a dice.
Yeah, not that kind of dealer.
Yeah, not the kind of dealer that we're used to, right? But I had a heart attack 6 years ago, and wow. They told me I had to quit, and I was like, okay. At that point, well, God, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? And somehow I ended up going to CNM, and I was going to get my drug and alcohol certificate.
Can you tell people what CNM stands for?
Yeah, that's Central New Mexico Community College here in Albuquerque. Well, they have offices all over Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and I think they have they definitely have online courses, and it's a junior college, community college. So I went to CNM. I was just going to get that certificate, and they kept talking me in. I believe the Holy Spirit led me to it, but eventually they talked me into getting my associate's degree. So I got my associate's degree, and right when I was getting ready to graduate from Central New Mexico, the folks from New Mexico Highlands said, "Hey, have you ever considered getting your bachelor's degree in social work?" And I'm like, I don't know. I at that point I was 50 years old, and I'm like, I'm an old man. I ain't got time for all this college stuff. Right?
I hear you. Yeah, I'm 58. Yeah, I hear you. Never too late, man.
No, and that's kind of what my story is to everybody, right? Everyone that's in here. And I thought, well, okay. So I applied, ended up getting going and trying to get my bachelor's, and they talked me into getting my master's. So at the ripe old age of 53, I graduated with my master's degree in social work.
Yeah.
And so
right.
Exactly what you're saying. And I want everyone out there. I don't care. Some of the folks that we have working with us, they have what we like to call background, which means they've either been involved with the justice system or substance abuse themselves. So we tell them, go get that diploma, go get that college degree. It's never too late to keep on going. It was funny. Part of the time when I was at Central New Mexico, some of them were high school age, and then from the older folks, I was one of the youngest ones. There was a lot of people that were much older than me, and I'll tell you what. For those of you that are contemplating going back to college, or if that's your goal, or technical vocational school, sometimes you have that idea of, it's going to be like when I was in high school or junior high. It's nothing like that. And you have something that's more valuable than when you were 16, 17, and 18 going back to school. You have life experience.
Yes.
So a lot of the people in my some of my classes early on, they were returning citizens, or they were people that were much like myself in recovery. And all of a sudden you can start talking to them, and you could listen to their experiences. And some of the greatest folks that I worked with were that I went to school with are returning citizens, guys and gals that had done some time or whatever. And it's like one of the greatest things that they tell me is that doing time or being in addiction, that does not define who I am, and it doesn't define who you are either. Coming from a Christian background, you're a child of God. That's the way I look at it. We've all fallen, we've all stumbled, we've all messed up. And the thing is, we just keep on rocking and rolling and coming together. And I think if you get involved in fellowships, if you do these kinds of things, it's going to help you stay away from the drugs and alcohol. It's going to help you stay away from reoffending, and you could change your life. And then once you have a changed life, you can start changing the lives of other people as well. So don't ever let whatever happened in the past, don't let that define you, because it doesn't. It does not define who you are. I like to do this thing with a lot of the folks that I work with. I'll just let you all know, I say the folks that I work with, I don't like necessarily the word client, because it sounds like, oh, you're a client. No, you're a person, right? You're people. You're not clients.
Right.
So the people I work with, I like to put up this little thing like a picture frame. And I say, I like the person that I see in that picture frame. I don't know what happened in the past. I'm not going to go back. I may not have liked that person, okay? And I don't know where the future is going to lead you. However, the guy that or gal that I'm seeing right there in that picture frame, that's the person that I'm interested in. That's the person that I want to work with. That's the person that we need to look at. We don't need to worry about your past. We don't need to go back and talk about that, other than to see how far you've come in X amount of time. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Can I catch up on some comments, say hello to people in the room, and then we'll get to talking again.
That'd be great.
Wendy says first in, last out. Genghis Oyster Sauce. That might sound like a funny name, but he's got a prison channel, and he invited me on his show tomorrow. He's been on mine. He's a guy who's done time, turned his life around, given a positive message out. TJ is in the room. TJ's a guy who I worked with while he was on pretrial, and thank God he only got probation. He had a little, I want to say, well, he had a confrontation with a flight attendant back when we had to wear masks. And thank God, but they gave him a bunch of home confinement and probation. And now he's around. Here's a guy I was gonna talk about him anyways. Frank's Positive Vibes. And I just watched a few of his videos last night, just getting to know him. And he's in recovery. He's got some videos about addiction and recovery. And Frank's Positive Vibes is a perfect name for his channel, because that's exactly what he's about. And when he talks, I mean, tears are coming out of his eyes. He's so real and pure. Go check out Frank's Positive Vibes. Here's another guy who did time, turned his life around, and he's trying to help people. Marlene, and she says, hey, nice to meet you, Leroy. And Marlene's one of our faithfuls, and she is saying, God is our dealer now and always. We have a lot. So, guys, I have a cross hanging here, and we do talk about God. If that scares you, good. But, God has truly blessed me and saved my life. God had me go to prison, which changed my whole life and turned it all around. I'm not going to talk about me today. I do enough of that, but you may hear God today 100 times, and I hope you do. Let's see. My thing is, and then Marlene is saying, good for you. Age is just a number. I'm 74. Feel like 50. Sometimes act like a kid. I get it. So, we were just talking about, me and Leroy were talking about, I said, what do you think about marijuana being legal in Albuquerque? And you remember what you said? You want to run that by for a minute, or were you on another track about what you're talking about?
No, that's fine. Cannabis just became legal, obviously, on the state level here in New Mexico. I believe it was April, if I'm not mistaken. And it's funny. I'm not one of those guys. So you mentioned God, right? You mentioned the Bible and stuff. God told Adam and Eve, you can do anything you want except mess with this one tree, right? And what's the first thing they did? What's one of the first things they did? They went and messed with that one tree that they weren't supposed to do. Well, us as human beings, when you tell us that you can't do something, what's the first thing we're going to do? We're going to go do it. I think that's just kind of the rebellious nature that we have as humans. So when folks that I work with, when they come in and they start discussing cannabis or marijuana, and it being legal, I'm not one of those guys that wants to fight with them. I do see the pain medication possibilities for cannabis, but I also see the addictive potential for cannabis as well. I don't know about your viewers and listeners, but I would ask each and every one of them to kind of look back. And usually most individuals, when they first start delving into drugs and alcohol, it's usually pot or booze. Those are usually the first two. I know that the pro cannabis conglomerates or whatever will say it's not a gateway drug, and
It was my gateway drug in junior high, and that led to cocaine. So,
and that does,
that's
I
my
think,
experience, though.
yeah, I'm just saying most of the individuals I would, and I haven't done a study or I haven't done a sampling, if you will, but I'd be willing to guarantee you 90% of the folks that I work with that are now using fentanyl or using methamphetamine or whatever kind of drugs that they're using, it started out at the ripe old age of anywhere from 10 to 14 of smoking pot and or drinking. So is there an addictive quality to it? Absolutely. You did mention that I came from and I did mention as well, Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous. Back in the day, a drug's a drug's a drug, right? That's it. We're abstinence free. I don't know if they're still battling about tobacco, but definitely cannabis was something that was a drug then. And I personally believe, it's a drug now. And so if you truly want to be sober, I personally believe that you should probably quit the marijuana as well. Also, it's going to when you kind of lose your mind a little bit, when you're a little bit high, all of a sudden you start thinking, maybe instead of this pot's not enough, maybe I should just go grab me some meth, or maybe I should go, get some blues, or maybe I should go drink my, gills off, if you will.
Yeah. And if you're abusing it, I mean, if you have glaucoma or cancer or something, and my grandmother smoked it at 84 years old because she wasn't eating. We actually suggested she did. I think she lived a few more years because of it, but she by no way abused it. So, if it's prescribed, didn't they even prescribe cocaine at one time, doctors?
One time they did.
And, I mean, back, so if it's used for the right purpose in moderation, it's not abused. I can't say don't enjoy it because, I know people lay in the hospital, they got hit by a truck and they're on morphine. They're going to enjoy it too, but you got to watch when you get off that, when you recover,
and keep it real. And that's everything, right? I mean, let's even take it out of the drug world. I mentioned working at Sandia Casino, I worked in a casino for 20
Gamblers Anonymous is a big,
years.
Yeah.
There's a rush to that. And there's a reason why there's bright lights and ding, 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 and all that stuff, right? Also, there's people that get, and also people, and I'll, throw this out there for some of your folks as well. It isn't just the substance. Sometimes it's the lifestyle, right? There's a lifestyle to be.
And there's a money addiction and a power addiction. And, drug dealers get it, with the women hanging on them and people, their entourage that they have around them, and they get hooked on that lifestyle, and it's really hard to quit. I just want to catch up here. Frank says it's a blessing to be free from drugs. He says, God bless all. And I think one of your coworkers here, Rose, thank you, Wings and Leroy. I'm a CSW here at Christian Counseling Professionals, and I'm looking forward to working with you. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Do you know Rose?
I do know Rose. Rose is one of the folks that I mentioned that we do community support work as well as counseling. And so if I can go into that, unless you want to catch up a little bit more before we jump into that.
There's a lady here talking about, she's going to check out Frank's Positive Vibes. There you go, Frank. You have a new fan. Marlene says, I tried weed once, slept all day, so that was that. LOL. She says, I have just been diagnosed with glaucoma in both eyes, but no weed for me. And that's your choice, and that's your decision. And Rose says, amen. Thank you, sharing. All right. I'm caught up on the comments.
Awesome. So we do what we call wraparound services. We do it two ways. We have the counseling, and this is the way I look at it. Counseling kind of comes over like this, and then we have the CSW work that comes over and helps you to become a whole person. So what is CSW work? CSW work is helping folks with things that they need in life, right? And I think you know this as well. People that come out of incarceration or returning citizens, they'll just drop them off and, you know, here you go, you're free to go, see ya. You got no food, you got no job, you've got no place to stay. Maybe you're together with your family, maybe you're not.
And you probably have no hope at that point.
Exactly. So what Rose and my CSWs do is we start helping you. We take a big old list of things that you need. Okay, maybe you need a birth certificate, a social security card in New Mexico. Well, we're here in New Mexico, so an ID or a driver's license. Maybe you want to look for a job. Maybe you don't even have a doctor. You would be surprised how many people haven't seen a doctor, a dentist, an eye doctor, or female.
No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I've been getting turned down for Medicaid because I make $15 an hour, and they said that's too much money. So I haven't had a doctor forever. So I get it. And I can't afford one. Not on $15. I can't afford a doctor.
Mm-mm.
You know, they want $800 a month to join like Blue Cross. I don't have that.
Yeah.
You know?
Females that don't, maybe they haven't seen an OBGYN. Maybe they don't, maybe people don't have birth control. We have folks that, so we help them with that. We try to help them. We have this little workshop that we run our folks through that to help them kind of look at getting a job, right? Help them build a resume. I don't know how long it's been since people have looked for work. A lot of people don't realize about like Monster or Indeed and that sort of thing. And let's build a resume together and let's put it out there and see if we can. And then we will sit there. And when was the last time anybody did an interview, right? And so we'll do some role.
Yeah, exactly. Or made a resume or even knows how to, a mock interviews. You know, can you give me 3, positive things about you and 3 negative things? Those kinds of questions in an interview always got me. You know.
Absolutely, and so one of our CSWs, we had a client that was going to go work for two of them that wanted to go work for a restaurant. And they needed a white shirt and a white tuck shirt and black pants.
Black pants and then black shoes that are skid proof. You got to go buy special ones. Yeah.
So we helped them get the clothing so that way they could go do their interview, and they ended up getting the job. We also do educational. That's one of the other domains that we work with. We do have some folks. We use the high set, which is we don't do the.
I was going to ask you about that on the back of your card. I don't know what high set is.
High school equivalency test is what it is, and with
that's different from a GED then.
A little bit different. You get an actual diploma with the high set, and so we have our plan that if you graduate with us with the high set, so a couple of our CSWs will do. They will be doing like tutoring and helping them out. And then as soon as they get to the test, we help them get to either CNM or one of the testing sites so they can go test. If they graduate and they get their high set, as soon as the diploma comes in, we'll frame it for them. We'll get a capping
nice.
And we'll do a little graduation party so that they can invite friends and family. Because if you do something like that, it should be celebrated.
I was just going to say, celebrate that. Be proud of yourself. And, a lot of times we make those little achievements. It may be nothing to somebody else, but me coming out of that, those are big deals in life. Those are stepping stones in life. Those, they are a big deal to us, and that you acknowledge that. And sometimes we need that hug. That's why they give out the chips in AA and NA. That's why we give those.
Absolutely. We help people get into CNM or the University of New Mexico State, whatever colleges, if they want colleges. If they don't want colleges, maybe they want to go to technical vocational school. Sometimes they're like, I don't really want to go to college. Okay, what do you want to do? I'd like to be a welder. I'd like to be a plumber. I'd like to be an electrician. I'd like to do HVAC. I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do to help you get into that kind of training.
Can you help them with apprenticeship programs for the plumbers and electricians and all that?
So what the CSW does is what we do is we look for resources and connect them with those resources. We'll walk alongside them. We'll hang out with them as far as that goes. I don't want to make any promises to people that what I can and can't do other than we'll work our tail off to walk beside you, walk alongside you and help them out. I have a great story. one of our CSWs, this young lady ended up going to community college, one junior college. She helped her. She showed her how to get on the bus, go to the school, walked around the school, showed her where her classes were, showed her how to get the tutoring, showed her how to go check out books or use the computers. The gal was so happy that someone paid attention to her. I had Rose. We had a person that we work with. Her one of her family members passed away, and Rose just came alongside her and spent the day with her. Went with her to the services and the funeral, just so that way that person wouldn't use. They were broken, they were hurt, they needed someone to just stand beside them and walk with them. And so that's something that a CSW would do as far as that goes. We help connect people with if they're looking for different churches, if they're looking for Bible studies, if they're looking for maybe sports groups, maybe they used to like to play softball and they're looking for a softball team where there's no, you have the keg in back of the truck sort of thing. We look for people for that. Chess clubs. We also try to connect them with some of the groups that we have.
So you help them with that. You help them develop a social life too, and find friends and all that, right?
Absolutely.
Sounds like that is. We need that in our life. We need the whole balance, not just school. All work and no play makes John a dull. How's it go?
You got it right. Makes them a dull boy or girl. And speaking of that, one of them is what kind of self-care are you doing? We work also. We go down to some of the homeless shelters and work with people down there. Joy Junction, Hoffman Hall, Salvation Army. We work with some of those folks, and some of the things they ask for, as far as recreation, like you're talking about, and we've helped people get like gym memberships or coloring books and crayons, or one guy, he really wanted to go fishing. He didn't have a vehicle, but Tingley Beach here in Albuquerque, you can go fish down there. So we helped him get a license, a
fishing license, sure, yeah.
And we found some fishing and tackle equipment and helped him out, and he was able to go fishing, right?
Yeah, and that's good therapy. Fishing is, fishing does wonders, for your
absolutely.
Soul and your.
When our CSW also does a little stretching class. They listen to some music on Mondays. The gals all get together. They do some stretching and some physical exercise. And it's not unheard of if we're going to do counseling or whatever. Let's just go for a walk. It's a beautiful day out. Let's not just stay stuck in an office. Let's go for a walk and talk and just kind of hang out. So we try to do some different things other than just hey, how are you feeling today, my friend? It's like let's look and see what life is all about for you and how we can help you out. Advocate.
Before I forget, we have the Obama phones at Wings for Life at the office. Mm-hmm. So I'm an agent. I can, if they have an ID, send them over. I'll even drive over and I'll get them hooked up with the phone for free. So okay, you know about the Obama phones, right?
Absolutely, and we help people with that
at the office. We have them there just to let you know. So in case because I don't know where. Sometimes you can't find the guys on the corner.
One of our other CSWs, she got involved with one of the local churches, Sagebrush Church, and every other month they do a pit stop, what they call pit stop. And they come in and they'll change the oil of the person's car and top off their fluids. And if there's
they do that. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the church itself does a little bit more. We could refer people out to that. And we'll send them over there and they can get their vehicles fixed for free. How many people are living in their vehicles? And
there's the whole working homeless out there. I was one of them at one time. I couldn't afford an apartment, had an eviction, bad credit. I have a job, but I was in San Francisco, so you could imagine I don't have $2,600 for a one-bedroom apartment in a bad neighborhood. Now I'm here in Albuquerque, a little different, but it's still hard. A lot of fast food workers and stuff, they work at Arby's or, they work at McDonald's, and they can't get a place, so they live in their car, and I get it. I met a girl works at Pizza Hut, and she needed one of the Obama phones. I drove her, I gave her the phone. I got her, signed her up for the phone, but she has nowhere to go. Hopefully she calls me, the next day or two. I gave her my number and I said, we want to help you, because she She works at Pizza Hut full time and has 3 kids, but can't, raise them right now because she's in that bind. And she's getting, she's clean now, and she's doing what she can. But, and if she calls me again, I'm gonna give her your number too.
Absolutely.
My heart went out to her, and I just want to help these people. Marlene says, that's great, Leroy, doing wonderful things in the Lord's name. Do you see the comments, Leroy?
I do, and it's awesome. It's making me smile. I'll tell you, obviously we do take private insurance and Medicaid, but this isn't just a job for me. This is my ministry. A lot of the people that we work with, this is their ministry as well. And so some people, they don't have insurance, and it's just like, what are we going to do? Kick them out on the street? No, we're going to help them as best we can. So we do try to take as many as we can and help out those that maybe they don't have insurance, or maybe they're kind of stuck. We try to help them as best we can. We provide those services as well. So, and I found that, when you start doing that, people are really grateful, and to us, it's a blessing. I mean, this is a blessing to me. This is the first job I've ever worked, and I started working when I was 12, that I love coming to work every day. There isn't one day that I don't love coming to work. Seeing people's lives turned around.
I mean, yeah, God bless you. And I'm the same way. I get to go to work and help people coming out of prison, and give a bike to a little kid who hasn't seen his father in prison for 10 years. And, changing just that. If I'm lost for words, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
It fulfills. I have a purpose in life now, so yeah. I just want to say this about myself. So, I didn't go to prison until I was 52. I was, I probably worked for 80 different restaurants. Every good job I had, I always ruined because of drugs, homeless 3 times, all this in and out of rehab, all this, couldn't get it till I went to prison, and now today, I have this prison channel, Federal Prison Talk. I work for Wings for Life. I get 2 or 3 calls almost every day from somebody facing prison time. They want my help. They watch my video. They ask me for advice. I get to help other people change their lives, and it gives me purpose. I'm finally worth something. And what it is that I went to prison and I got off drugs. That's nothing, but to me, I get to help these people, and now my life has purpose, and now I get why God kept me alive. He has a plan. He won't tell me the rest of the plan because I'll ruin it. And I don't really want to know at this point, but you know what I'm saying?
I was, we had a guy, he got his ID, and he walked around and showed everyone in the office his ID because he hadn't had an ID for like 10 years.
It's a big deal.
It was a huge deal. And I mean, it was great. We've had other people. We had another gentleman. He completed our program, had stayed clean for over 1.5 years, was going to NAAA. He was moving back home with his family. And so he was leaving our program. He was leaving the state. And, this is during COVID. We had a root beer float party for him because that's what he wanted. And just kind of, that's what I always talk to everyone about. Let's talk about the small victories, right? What do drug addicts do, right? What do substance abusers do? They use drugs. That's what we do. That's why we're substance abusers. If one day is clean, if you can make it one day clean, that's a victory. That's a victory.
That's it's hard to do sometimes. I mean, I could do it if I'm sleeping for 3 days, but that doesn't count.
Right.
That's because I was up for 14 days. Yeah, that doesn't count.
So
let me catch up on comments real quick. Crestview, her ministry, that is awesome. We are always looking for location for those phones. Yeah, our Wings for Life. We're just Google us. The numbers across the screen on the bottom. Rose Coleman, good to know. Clients always needing phones. Oh, good. I'm glad I put that out. Marlene wants to know, what are Obama phones? So Obama kind of, I don't know if he got the credit for it, but they're free government phones for low-income people. If you have food stamps or Medi-Cal or Medicaid, and or if you're on Social Security, and I think if you make less than $24,000 a year, it's more if you have kids. there's lots of ways to qualify, but it's a free phone. It has unlimited internet, everything. It's a smartphone. It does everything, so you'll never get a phone bill. And every year they just as long as you every year you get to renew it as long as you're in the same space. But if you ever do make $40,000 a year, then you don't need it anymore, and they'll take it away. But if you're low income, yeah, and it's a free phone. It does everything. Marlene says, Sean, God has blessed you so you could bless others. A godsend. You're great. Thank you, Marlene, but you're great. And I know a little bit of Marlene. She comes on all these shows, and we all try to help her. Like people like Frank's Positive Vibes and Gangish and all these. There's a bunch of prison channels out there. These are guys who did time, turned their life around, and now we have prison channels. But it's not. We're not telling you how to make a tattoo gun or make a shank or make pruno. No, we don't want people to go to prison, go back to prison. People coming out, we're there to help you. I just did a show with 10 prison channels all in one room. Doing it again next month. It's called the Sunday Super Chat. But everybody there did time, and they're turning their life around. And we're just trying to help people. You know what I mean? And the YouTube's our hobby, and it's our outlet. You know, it's our therapy. And then I get to do this on Fridays for Wings for Life, and I'm glad I met you, Leroy. And I'll shut up. I'm gonna let you keep talking.
No, it's great. I love to hear people's stories. I think that's why I got into this business is really to listen to people's story. Like I said, I came to Christ. Well, I didn't say, but I came to Christ 16 years ago. And got into pastoral care ministry, and that's kind of where I started with all of this after AA and NA. And then I did go with the Sagebrush Community Church's Living Free program, and I did a couple of years pastoring that. And now I'm at Awaken, New Mexico, and I'm doing pastoral care once again, just helping people, right? I mean, isn't that what life's all about? Kind of what you're doing, Sean. I mean,
I'm trying to earn my wings to go to heaven, and now I work for Wings for Life. So I don't know if that's a coincidence. I always used to say I'm trying to get my wings back, and then I get hired at Wings for Life. Somebody has a sense of humor up there.
So we just, try to show people love, kindness, tenderheartedness. It's never our goal or never our job to treat anybody poorly. I like this. Whenever I talk to someone that I'm working with, I always tell them, this is a non-judgmental place. I'm not here to judge you. There was a time in my life when I needed some help, and if people had judged me, I would have told them to stick it, and I would have walked, and I don't know where my life would have been. But they showed me kindness. They showed me love. They showed me tenderheartedness. And that's what I do. That's what we try to do with everyone else, is just show them that kindness, love, and tender. I don't care if you've been homeless for years. I don't care if you haven't showered. We're going to try to help you as best we can. No, we're not miracle workers. I can't fix it. But we'll definitely work as hard as we can. And then obviously the person that we're working with, they have to put in the work too. This isn't just us doing it for you. That will never work. Right. You
talk about not judging people. So now I know you've done the 12 steps. Do you remember when you did your 4th step and you shared it with your sponsor and did the 5th step, and you had all these things that you think nobody ever did? And then he said, I did that. I did that. I did that. You remember?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's the same thing here. So they come in my office, your office. I've probably done what you've done. You're not going to surprise me.
Nope.
Right?
Nope. Nobody. I don't think there's any surprises left. But the Bible tells us that we have grace. I've had grace extended to me for all the things that I've ever done. And I like to be part of extending grace to others. And that's what it's all about. And, I think you get enough broken people, or people that were broken in the past together. They want to sit there and they want to help each other out. And that's really what I think Wings. And that's why at Christian Counseling Professionals, we were so blessed. I know we've talked with Ann quite a bit, and then that silly pandemic hit and kind of put all our lives on hold for the most part. But now that Ann's got it cranking up again on Monday night, she asked us to be part of it. And to us, it's a blessing. That's what we wanted to do, is just reach out and help more people. The more people we can help, the better. And Sean, kind of like, what you just were talking about is like, the more that we can help, the more that people kind of grow and move forward, then they in turn can go forth and they can start reaching out to other people Let's be honest, homelessness, incarceration, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, it's not slowing down anytime soon.
No, and I'm from San Francisco, and you guys, your war zone that you guys call the war zone here, and I live in it. This is a suburb to me. Okay, you guys don't know 20 blocks of tents, hypodermic needles, feces, naked people running around screaming and jumping on cars and breaking in windows, and you guys don't even know. This is like 1982 homeless in San Francisco, what you guys got in Albuquerque. You guys are in for a run. You're gonna have a wake up call. So me, this is a break for me. I live in the war zone, and this is a nice neighborhood to me. But
Well, one of our offices, and you can always come down and visit us, is at 301 Chama Southeast. It's on the corner of Copper and Chama. And
okay.
Crestview Church, and we just go in there, and that's where the stretching group that I was telling you about, and a little bit.
Is that like yoga or something? Or
somewhat.
Okay.
They do more stretching. Listen to some. Well, I always hear Toby Mac whenever they got it going on, and so they're doing some stretching and get things going. And then also, they do a little one-on-one services, or they'll also we do some of our tutoring there for the high set or college. And then also, it's not unheard of for all of a sudden a Bible study to break out, or some sort of a study, or people just talking with one another. And it's fellowship. It's where fellowship starts. It's just people coming together. And like I said on Monday night, I think that was one of the greatest things, was just seeing the fellowship of meeting new people and smiling and saying, you know what, I've been punched in the gut, or I've been punched or kicked other places, but I'm here. I don't know what stage everyone is as far as being hurt or broken or trying or in recovery, but you're here. And that to me is the greatest battle. I think the hardest thing to do is ask for help.
It is, and it takes nothing but strength. It's not a weakness to ask for help. Frank, and he's Frank Positive Vibes. And I think Frank, you'll agree. So my kind of philosophy now in life is, if somebody's down and out, you don't kick a man when he's already down. Sometimes people just they don't believe in themselves. But if I can come up, or somebody else, and we believe in them just that little bit of much, and we could show them that, but I believe in you, we can get them to believe in themselves just a little bit. And if they're willing to do the work, over time, they will be, life. I don't know. How should I say? People just sometimes need somebody else to believe in them. And I don't mean like give a guy, $1,000 and buy him a car and do all, no, he's got to do the work. But sometimes we just need somebody else to believe in us, because we've been kicked enough when we're down. Are you going to kick a man that's already down on the ground, or are you going to reach out your hand and help him stand up?
I like to tell the people that I work with, I said, you've probably been called garbage, trash, piece of whatever your whole life. The worst part is when you actually started believing it. But I'm sorry, I don't believe in that. I don't believe that at all. In fact, I look at you, and once again, there's that, picture frame once again. I believe in you. I think you can do this. I think it's possible. You just need to put in some work, and let's get started. And like you said, amazing how many times, and Sean, have you talked with somebody and they're looking like this, and then all of a sudden maybe they'll kind of give you this, and then all of a sudden, slowly but surely, they can at least look you in the eye and say, wow, this person's not a jerk, this person's not a whatever, this person actually cares about me. And so
that's the best dope I ever smoked.
Yeah, exactly right. And so like I said, we do have and someone they put the address there, 301 Chama South.
Yeah, 301 Chama.
That's on the International District. The other office that we have is 4770 Montgomery Boulevard, Suite C114. You can walk in there.
I'll put all that. If I haven't done it, it'll be underneath the description in this video. And the phone number, I have your phone number on the screen. That's for your international district office.
That's fine. And either one works. We can get in touch with you at any time. Or you can go to our website, ccpnm.net. You can go and check that out. You could even ask for services. Give us a call if you just have a question, right? If you need some help, people need help. We take walk-ins, we take in everybody. We just want to.
And you do walk-ins. That's good to know that you do walk-ins.
Absolutely.
A lot of homeless or drug addicts and stuff, they don't even know how to make an appointment, and if they have to, they're not going to bother.
Exactly. And our CSWs, guess what? They help you schedule and make appointments, and if you're on medication, help you try to schedule the medication and your doctor's appointments. People coming out of homelessness or out of incarceration, maybe you don't know how to juggle a schedule. Maybe your life was, when I was using, my life was hectic. I didn't know anything, right? And slowly but surely, someone helped me to learn how to, okay, you got to go to work at this time. You got to be at school at this time. You got to do this at this time. This is part of what you have to do here. And so they showed me how to kind of schedule my life, how to balance a checkbook, how to wow, I got $20 in my pocket. Let me go spend 40, right? Right. I mean, all these different things. So yeah, we do want to help people like that. And sometimes you'll walk in and we'll have cookies and coffee, or we'll have some water or whatever. I mean, it's 100 degrees in Albuquerque, and you might be tired out there. Come on in and have a drink. Today we're three doors down from New Beginnings Church there on Montgomery.
Okay.
And San Mateo. And today they were giving out food boxes. And I know God's Word up on Central was giving away food boxes today. Well, we make sure that the people that we work with, we make sure that they know the days that there's food boxes. Because even if you get SNAP.
I know what it's like to have $8 left, and you got to make it last 11 more days till you get that, that Social Security check or something. I know what that's like.
And so wouldn't it help to be able to, and the food box, today was like milk, bread, fresh fruit. So there was some chicken. I was like, wow, this is a pretty good. Wow. And sometimes Rose, she's the type that will kind of go and help you get the food box and help you get back to your apartment with that.
Wow.
Those are
was Rose there Monday night? Did I meet her?
No, she wasn't there this Monday night, but she will be one of the other ones. She was chomping at the bit to get there, and I know that eventually she will be there as well.
Okay. Because there was another lady with you, remember? And I asked her, I said, you want to come on the show too? You remember?
Yeah, that's Tammy, and she's a little shy. And
yeah. It's all right.
We're working on it. We're working on it. And so I had Tammy and Paul. They're both counselors. And Rose is a CSW, but Rose will be coming to she'll be coming to some of the wings, because we're not stopping. We're going to keep going. We want to reach out to as many people as we want. And guess what else we do? We have people that walk in and they have they're returning citizens, and we're like, have you heard of Ann Eddingfield, and have you heard of Wings for Life? And so we try to push them onto you all as well, and kind of form that community.
I'll be referring people to you too. Now that I know you, I didn't even know you existed till Monday night, and now with the show, a lot of more people do. So yeah, so that's why I like to have different guests on every week. I try to promote it. I've had like I was gonna list. Now my mind just went blank. I've probably had 40 different charity nonprofits from Albuquerque on here in the last 6 months. So, that's awesome. I'm networking that way. But now I know where to send somebody. If we can't help them, I know who can.
Yeah, and that's the goal. Is as if we can get more, like I said earlier, homelessness, substance abuse, return. That number is not slowing down.
No, it's not.
We need to help out, and we need to grow together. I look at our organization, our clinic, I look at us as a family, right? And like I said, we work with other different clinics, agencies, shelters, programs. They're all family too. And so, if it's crazy Uncle Leroy, that's fine, because I do get a little crazy. But let's get together. Let's work together for the benefit of our communities, right? The children, the spouses.
Oh, and the children and the teenagers. Yeah, exactly. Let me catch up on comments real quick here. I got a friend from Australia in the room, Aussie Prison Talk. So this man, I think he's been out of prison, Adam, 12 years. He's turned his life around. He's off the heroin. He's clean. He's so, he's doing, he's doing the right thing. He started a channel a little while ago, and all these other channels on here, we all love Adam and everything he did. But he just got out of surgery, gallbladder removed, and we all sent him love in Australia. So I mean, we're international. Rose is saying planning for Monday. Okay, Rose, I want to meet you. And Autumn says Sean is pissed. I'm not pissed off. So I guess that's because the last night I had to go to bed. Adam did a show. I couldn't stay up for his show. Adam, I love you. Don't talk like that. But anyways, I shouldn't have read that. But anyways, Marlene says, I'm glad you finally had that done. It's going to get better. Praying for you, sweetie. I love you. And Adam, we all love you. Adam's been on my channel, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. I think Sunday me and Adam are doing another show. But here's a man from Australia who's turned his life around. And all these people in America have been giving Adam nothing but love. And Adam's kind of like the brother I never had. We talk on Facebook, and we talk all the time, and it's just amazing. I meet these people that have turned their life around, and Leroy, here you're another one. You've turned your life around. You know what I mean? I mean, with addicts, there's always a chance we're going to relapse. But when you get so many years in and you start helping people, it's like the more people. Like in AA and NA, the more people you sponsor, the less your chances are that you're going to go out and join them. And it's more about the more you give out to somebody else, the stronger you get. Would you agree?
Yeah, like I told you, I first started Narcotics Anonymous at the age of 18. I don't have 30 plus years clean. Okay. No. I relapsed and went on runs multiple times. And one of the things that I've learned, both as a counselor and as someone that's in recovery, when you stop doing the things that you were doing, your chances of relapse go up greatly. You start hanging out at clubs, you start hanging around people that are using, you go back to some of your old things, you stop going to meetings, you stop sponsoring or having sponsors, you stop going and seeing your counselor, you stop doing those things, all of a sudden that old life will call back to you.
Sure. That old saying, you hang around a barber shop, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut.
There you go. And so, but just because you relapse doesn't mean that your life is over. I know there's a lot of shame and there's a lot of guilt for folks relapse. And sometimes it feels like, I got to go whack with my tail between my legs and go get that white chip again. Do they still do the white chips?
Yeah, they do. It's white for surrender.
Yeah. Well, there's been a few times that I had to go back and get that white chip, right? And I
probably relapsed 114 times if I'm counting. So yeah,
there you
go. 6 years is the most I ever had, but I had 4 years once, and I thought it was all that. And I wasn't. I wasn't working. I stopped going to meetings. I stopped, doing the things that you talked about. I was cured. I was cured, and there is no cure.
Every single one of you, wherever you're at in your recovery, wherever you're at in your program, if you're going to AA, NA, there's Celebrate Recovery, Narcotics Anonymous, or I'm sorry, Living Free. There's all kinds of different programs.
Yeah, I think there's Life Circle, Life something. There's a few new kind of concepts out there too.
Whatever fellowship or whatever thing you're doing, don't stop. Right? Don't stop. I know, we talk about 90 meetings in 90 days. I don't know if they still do that. I haven't been to.
Oh, yeah, they do. They do 90 meetings, 90 days, all that. Yeah, they do.
And just because you do 90 meetings in 90 doesn't mean you're cured after 90.
so like when I first heard that, I go, so I'll do 10 a day for 9 days and I'll be done. Then I can take 3 months off. No.
I love it.
But that's our thinking,
Absolutely. And it's like, I don't know. Like I said, for me, the meetings are great, but the fellowship for me is what helped me out, right? It's just hanging out with people that are just as messed up or going through the same amount of problems and issues that I've done or that I was going through, and then just hanging on together, right? And then when I went into the faith-based ministries and stuff, it's the same thing. It's just like, I'm going to pray for you, brother or sister. You pray for me. Let's have a barbecue together, or let's, depending on where we're at, let's boil up some water and have some ramen. throw a little bit of hot sauce in there and
make a spread. There you go.
Whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But it was just being with other people. And now as a counselor and the things that I'm doing, I love to be around other people with positive attitudes, or people that are going out and serving and helping others. And Sean, that's why it was such a pleasure to meet you and for you to have me here, and then to meet Ann and get ready for that. And just, seeing the comments, it makes me smile. And the people that I work with, that we work with, we do our thing. And it's just, all I see is love. Keep showing love. Love as a Christian, love as an addict, love as just a human being, and just meeting people right where they're at. Because there was a point where God met me where I was at, but he loved me too much to leave me there. So he pulled me out of there. And so that's kind of the way I kind of base my counseling on, is every person that walks through my door has a little piece of my heart. Don't tell my teachers in college, because they say, don't do that because you're going to run out of heart, but I don't care. I'm an old man now, so I only have.
If you've got God in your heart, you're never going to run out, man.
So every person that walks that we're blessed, that I'm blessed to talk to, has a little piece of my heart running around with them, and I'd be more than happy to not reclaim it, but at least reconnect with them and find out where they're at. And so it was a blessing, Sean, Monday night to kind of give a piece of my heart there at the wings and the meal and stuff, and I'm looking forward to going back.
Okay. Sounds like you got to go, and that was, I guess, it's been an hour. So, I'm so glad I met you, Leroy, and I know in the future we can do things together. And thank all you guys for viewing on here. The number for the Christian Counseling Professionals is on the screen, and in the description I'll put more. I think I have everything, your website, phone number, everything underneath the description. I'll double check.
Okay.
So you guys give Christian Counseling Professionals a call, and I'm sure, Leroy, even if they're in Minnesota, can they still call you for help?
They can call. We can talk. Obviously,
Yeah.
we can't do counseling.
No, but
we
maybe
can
at
definitely
least you can maybe lead them in the right direction. Let them know somebody cares.
The whole goal is to plant a seed, right?
Yeah.
And see what that crop is. I'm here to plant a seed. If I can help you from here in Albuquerque to Minnesota or anywhere else, I'd be more than happy to reach out and at least talk. We all have something in common, right? We're trying to better ourselves, and we're trying to just end this cycle of incarceration and drug use and homelessness and sadness and pain.
Yeah, I don't know where this is ever going to go, if it's ever going to end. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, you should see the West Coast, Oregon, Seattle, LA, San Francisco, and now it's spreading here. And I just don't see a solution in sight. They've tried things like tiny houses and building more shelters, and none of that's working. And shelters are a scary place to sleep. I stayed at a shelter in San Francisco when I woke, and I put my shoes under my head because I was warned, and they still stole them from me while I was sleeping. You know what I mean? Went through my pockets. I woke up, and the guy was running away from me, and I had nothing in my pockets. But shelters are not they're not safe, and they're not nice places.
No, they're not. But it's, if I just tell everyone, we're going to start one step at a time, and let's see what we can do to get you into jobs, housing, education, get back together with family, social, recreational. Like you said, everyone's got to have a little bit of fun. This shouldn't be a drag. For those of you, spiritual, we work a wellness program where we look at all 8 different dimensions of wellness. And Sean, I'll send that to you so you can kind of take a look at it if you don't know what it is. But there's 8 dimensions of wellness.
Actually, I do not. So send that to me. Thank you.
I will. And it definitely is a way to help people kind of touch on all 8 so they can create a balance in their life. And that balance will allow them to grow and change. And then once they grow and make changes personally, then they can go out and they can start stepping as well and trying to reach out to others that are suffering and struggling. That's the only way I know how to do it, Sean, is as a team and just work together with other people that are like-minded and with the same heart that want to help those that need help. And that's why it was such a blessing to meet you. And obviously I've known Ann for a little while, but just meeting more and more people constantly that are looking to help those that don't know where to get help.
And recruited me from San Francisco. She saw my YouTube channel, and
Wow.
one thing led to another, and here I am in Albuquerque. So,
well, she's an amazing woman.
She worked it out. So I had 3 years probation when I finished federal prison. She called all the probation officers in New Mexico and mine in San Francisco, and somehow they don't ever transfer you in a federal probation. You can't go to another state even if you have a job, but God brought, it's a God. It's not God did it, not me.
Absolutely.
I'll be off for Christmas. I'll be off probation. So my 3 years.
That's awesome.
That's my December 23rd. So that's my Christmas present.
That's awesome.
But that doesn't mean I can go. That doesn't mean anything. That just means I got to keep doing what I've been doing. Because just because you get off probation, guys, you still got a rap sheet. You get pulled over by the police, you're not going to be treated any different. Oh, you're off probation now. They're not going to bow down you. You got a rap sheet. You're going to be judged. You probably got to work twice as hard, once you get off probation, guys. So I just know that, and you're not free yet. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much, Leroy. Guys, tomorrow at 1:00, I have Lady Lion. She's a prison advocate who fights to get people released, and she has lots of results. She's coming on, and she does this all out of the kindness of her heart. She's not like charging thousands of dollars. If you want to give her a $10 donation, you can, but she'll help you with compassionate releases and early releases. And she's got just a wealth of information about the Bureau of Prisons and federal. Don't miss the show tomorrow, 1:00. They call her Lady Lion, and lawyers hate her. The Bureau of Prisons hate her, but I love her. She's a great woman. Tune in tomorrow. Anyways, guys, and don't forget, Monday night, 6:30 on Zoom, our Wings for Life show. And then every Friday, I'm here at 3:00. So thanks, guys. Thank you, Leroy.
Thank you. God bless you all. Take care. And if you need any help, give us a call.
You bet. All right. God bless you all.